Welcome to Season 3, Episode 10 of the Hockey Dummies, brought to you by DeanBlundell.com. DeanBlundell.com, where news and humor is for the unrefined. Pat, how you doing?
Doing amazing.
Are you?
I came home. I had a couple of 2-4 sitting on my driveway.
Oh, yeah.
A couple triple bogey 2-4 sitting there.
Getting the triple B's.
Yeah. And William Nylander last night gave all his haters a big fuck you.
Well, it was about fucking time. Let's hang on that as we're live here on DeanBlundell.com and across all the platforms here. You're going to see a couple of different characters with us this week. As we get into our fantasy hockey talk with Pick 'em Up, we're going to find out what's been pissing Pats off this week.
I don't even know if I can do that this week. I'm so happy with my alcohol and William Nylander. I'm wearing his old number 29 right here.
That's all it takes.
Well, but we're gonna run our NHL headlines for the week as we always do. But we're gonna sit in with our sister podcast station, the guys from Hab A Listen Podcast, right here on DeanBlundell.com. Boys, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, boys.
Of course. Well, as we kind of talked off air about this is the perfect time for the Hab A Listen guy. It was totally random. Like, we chatted about this. It was like, hey, yeah, let's do it on February 25th. And Claude Julian gets fired. Lose back-to-back games to the Sens. They lose to the Leafs. They went from first in the North to fourth. A lot of things are happening in Habland right now. Not for the better, which is great for Pats and I. But at the same time, I'm curious to get your 2 cents on Julian. Like, why was he fired? And Deschamps, like, is he the right guy moving forward?
So I'll take the wheel, I guess, and then the other boys can touch base.
So hold on, Deschamps.
Yeah, it's Ducharme. It's Ducharme,
Whatever.
By the way.
He's not gonna last more than a couple weeks anyway.
Here we go. So first of all, you guys planned this 100%. I think you guys had some insider information from Drager or some shit.
Yeah.
No, but on Julian, it was a long time coming. It's just from what I said and from what I saw from a little while, it was like almost like a trend. The Habs start out hot in the first month of the season. They look good. And then what ends up happening is the teams adjust to our play, and we saw it. Now we were struggling against everybody. We were getting shut down. And then you need the counter of the counter. So Julian didn't really make too many adjustments after we started struggling. And it's just been a trend in Habsland over the past couple seasons. Since Julian's taken over, and I think Bergevin's finally just had enough. And in terms of Ducharme, I'm always interested in a fresh new mind. So I think he's the right guy. I hope he'll do well.
Yeah, he was one of he was the head coach for the Canadian junior team a couple of years ago. And I don't know him, but just from the interviews that I've watched and watched his boys throughout that tournament, he seems like a good person. Obviously knows what he's doing. I'm interested to see it too. It was like Babcock leaving and Keith coming in, right, for us?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. I think that's exactly what it was. And I think, we hired Ducharme in the beginning. Pretty much, I think that there was the future in mind.
Yeah,
right?
succession planning.
Like Julian, we knew that he was not going to be the long-term coach here. And I'm one of those guys that I don't think that the coach was the problem. I still think that at the end of the day, players have to perform. But, yes, the way he coached, his ice time to certain players, you guys can relate to that. You guys saw it with Babcock and the way he treated certain players and, guys who are less defensively responsible, right? The way he treated those guys, right? So that does affect the way a team plays. I still think at this point, I don't think that he was fully to blame, but I understand why they did it. Because, I think that this team has more potential and they need to let the young guys perform. Even if we lose, even if they suck, let them perform. Stop playing it so safe. The other day, I sent these guys a tweet, which I thought was hilarious. The guy said, he's like, I'm surprised he didn't put Danault in the shootout to take a face-off. Because that's exactly the way this coach thinks.
Right.
It's like he's so defensive. He plays so safe all the time. It's like he would put a guy like that in the shootout to take a face-off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
And furthermore to what Gibby was saying, just about coming off the hop of the start of the season, the Habs are flying, and a lot of their offense was created off the rush, and a team started to realize that and started shutting them down, and yeah, if you're not going to change and adjust, I put that on the coaching, not necessarily the players, but yeah, the players still need to perform, but that the coach is saying, hey, go out there and do this, and this. And every time they're getting shut down, and you got to listen to your coach. It's tough.
Yeah, and also it's like you can only do what is given to you, right? So if I don't get the ice time, how can I perform?
Sure.
Right.
Well, and furthermore to that, if given the ice time and not given the right system to play, it's just a recipe for disaster. Like, I was at the game in Pittsburgh when Babcock got fired. I think we lost 6-1 that night. What a shitty, like, me and my buddies, we drove down to Pitt, had a weekend with the boys, and we just got lit up. And they're both on the house and they can jump around. Fucking hate that song now. Except for the blonde that was jumping around in front of us.
You guys understand. If anybody understands, it's your fan base. You guys were kind of in the same situation. I mean, I'm not going to say that we have the elite talent and, they were being benched like you guys had, because you guys know, like, those guys were getting sat out, and
we don't have elite talent, but we have better talent than we had last year. And to see them going down that route again, where they were going to go through another losing streak, it's unacceptable, right? Well, seriously, boys, I ran through my survey naked, man, when I found he was gone. Like, I was freaking happy. Like, it's like I feel bad for a human being to lose their job, but at the end of the day, guys, I mean, it's a team, and Price is not playing well. A lot of it is on him, all right? And I'm a big Price guy. I'll say it 100%. The guy has not been playing well. But, the coaching, man, it's just been – I scratch my head so many times when, like, my grandmother would do a better job, right?
Grandma, so you guys think Price should be starting tonight?
No.
I think that's a big statement from a new coach if you're going to start Jake Allen over Carey Price. I don't think you want to. I think you play the politics and you just give him the chance.
I don't think he really wanted to. I don't think he wanted to start him. But how do you sit your $10.5 million goalie for your first fucking game, right?
Yeah, that's a fucking big statement to make.
Yeah, you have to play.
Yeah. Well, right now, I believe the Habs are sitting in fourth. There's still lots of hockey to be played. I'm sure you guys aren't panicking or anything like that. Like, I think that they're still a playoff team. But we'll see. We'll see. You got, to me, like, going into the season, it was kind of like Toronto, Montreal were going to be playoff teams. And I felt Edmonton, and then I felt Winnipeg and Calgary were going to be the ones battling it out. That's what we talked about last week. Like, I think Vancouver and Ottawa are out, and I think it's a race for the final three spots. But I honestly think the Habs are in. So we will see. We're going to be keeping an eye on that. And, like, we don't want to just come on here and we're the best and you guys aren't so great and all.
No, we want you to do that because when playoffs come, we're just going to laugh.
Yeah.
What's that, Lewis?
I said that we want you to do that because when playoffs come, we're just going to laugh.
Okay, settle. You guys haven't done shit for a long time in the playoffs.
Oh, here it goes.
Hey, we have to throw a little of that.
I know. Everyone's like, 67. Well, you know what? I wasn't fucking alive then. I don't give a shit. I don't care. We were robbed in 92-93 by Kerry fucking Fraser.
Yeah.
That's it.
I never let Kerry Fraser.
No one was beating that team.
What, of the Habs team?
Oh, Leafs would have fucking smoked
No
those
way.
guys.
No chance.
Smoked.
There's no way.
Smoked.
Nobody. It
No,
was
been-
destiny.
No, it would have been fucking embarrassing for you guys. Fucking
It
sweet.
was destiny.
Sweet.
Patrick was dialed in, man. I don't think so.
Somebody would have ran him. Fucking took his head
Bro,
off.
but he loves that.
Wendell
Patrick loved that.
would have went in there.
Fucking Wendell. Love that guy. Well, as we sit here and kind of poke fun as the perfect timing, the perfect storm for you guys to come on our podcast. It's also kind of a perfect storm for you guys where we just had the 1-year anniversary of the Zamboni driver beating the Toronto Maple.
You know what? Ask his wife, and I'm pretty sure he's not a Zamboni driver. She fucking
It's funny
for that
because
on
I
Twitter.
inherited my Twitter account. And
How do you inherit a Twitter account?
well, because I wasn't active and me and Gibby kind of switched, and I follow his wife.
As you should.
Well, yeah, we follow his wife too. We chat back and forth.
Yeah, so I follow his wife, Gibby. Thanks.
No problem, man. Actually, it's funny. I probably followed her because of she was tweeting probably a year ago.
Yeah.
Not a bad follower too.
Like, listen, I know you got a lot of people like to throw that at you guys, but it is what it is.
It's what it was a no-win situation for the Leafs.
Yeah.
Either they lose and they look like shit, which they did.
I almost feel like
they
the
light
Leafs
this guy up.
It's not like the Leafs went out there to light this guy up.
No, but
I
that's the
almost
thing.
feel like they felt sorry for him.
They probably did. They're like, oh, I like that guy. I fucking take shots on him in practice.
No way. No
You don't think so?
No, I think they went out there. The first 2 goals went in.
Well, they were shit goals.
Well,
There
Yeah,
was
but
one,
then
like,
they probably were
fucking
like, okay,
red
man,
line.
let's let up a bit.
no way. There's no way anybody let up. I think the Carolina Hurricanes fucking hunkered down. Like they
Played really defensively well.
Oh my
I
god!
don't think so.
Best team I've ever seen. And like what a great story, for starters. I think back like when they were talking about this game coming up and the 1-year anniversary. Like Pat, you and I were texting in the game. I was like, there's no more goalie. What's going to happen? I'm like, we're going to fucking beat these guys like 15-1.
Yeah. And then meanwhile,
back at the ranch.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're fucking getting smoked.
just hearing him talk about the players coming up and settling them down, and Rod Brindamore chatting with them, and them coming in the room after and fucking celebrating. Like it's a very cool story. Like there's talk about it being a Disney movie, and I would watch it.
But listen, you have to tell me, that's their driver.
He's not he's a practice goalie. He's not a fucking Zamboni driver.
Still, you don't think that they at some point in their mind said, you know what, we're gonna not go too crazy here.
I don't think so, Louis.
No, honestly,
we need him to flood the ice after the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, let's not work him too hard. We need him to.
He's got to flood the ice after the game.
Yeah, take it easy, boys. Take it easy. Yeah, we need fucking practice.
Because
time.
listen, there's lots of Leaf moments that I will throw at Leafs fans and say, hey, man, that's embarrassing. That for me, I know a lot of people jump on that, but for me, it's not a huge disrespectful moment. I just feel like I watched it, I saw it, I didn't think it was if it was a playoff game, okay, fine. Right?
Right.
But it didn't mean shit, and I do really think that the players felt bad at some point. I do.
I don't. And
They may have felt bad, but they still would have said, I'm going to fucking pad my stats.
We saw the game, man.
Yeah, well, they were shit. They were playing like shit anyway.
Weren't
they down like 4-1?
Give respect to Carolina. I think they played well defensively.
Yeah,
but
and they have a good.
I still think that the Leafs took the foot off the pedal.
I don't think the foot.
Now, you want to talk about when the
Leafs
Leafs blew leads against Boston in the playoffs? Yeah,
that was yeah. But you know what? That team. You know what? That was the best thing that happened to Toronto. That they blew that first.
Why? What happened
many years back in Boston? No, because think about it. They basically backed into the playoffs that year, right? They were garbage. They started off really well, and then they started to shit the bed, and they backed in, and they played Boston. They played well in that series, and then they go into Game 7, and if they had won that Game 7, Now they're thinking, holy shit, we're actually good and we're going to win some playoff rounds. They weren't a good fucking team. Not even close to a good team.
It doesn't matter because they've been haunted ever since.
No, well, whatever. Fine. It's not their time yet. It's coming. It's going to come before.
That's what we always hear. Well, forget about the Zamboni driver. This team is great. They got a lot of good players. They can't perform in the playoffs. That's their problem.
It's because they always play Boston.
Well,
Boston's the kryptonite.
And well, listen too though. Like Matthews and Marner are clearly our best players. They're still young. You know, you're not always going to come right into the league and start winning round after round after round. I think these guys are finally getting to the point where they are elite superstars. You got Matthews is in talks for the Hart Trophy. Marner's right there nipping at the heels for the Art Ross. You know, these guys are legit superstars in the NHL, and it's taken them some time. They were always good, but they still needed the time to mature and to grow within the game. And I think that they're finally at that point to really take that next step.
So question for you guys, because I know obviously you guys are Leafs fans, but so Matthews is Matthews. He's a great player, but I've watched him in some games, and I do tune in just because I do like to watch hockey, period. But this year, Matthews, man, he is just fucking dialed in. Yeah. Like what's going on with him? Like I just feel like he's just reached another level.
He's evolved. He's evolved into he's a 200-foot player, and he's actually more physical.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Throwing hits. Like he's running, like he ran Sherratt the last fucking game we played. Mm-hmm. Fucking ran Sherratt.
Can I say something though? Difference with this season is I'm sorry, like we thought this Canadian division was good. It's not that good.
No.
No.
And when you go around the league and you travel and you play heavier teams like in the West Coast and you start playing like some of the elite in the East Coast, things change. And the Leafs, I'm sorry, I said it too on our podcast. I said that the Leafs are the best team in this division. I always thought that. I still think that Montreal is very good, and I still think that you don't want to play us in the playoffs. But the Leafs are the best team in this division. And I kind of almost, I saw that this would happen. And they're not facing anything else except what they see here.
Yeah. No, I
That's
know.
why Matthews is just eating.
Their biggest competition as of late has been the Flames, really.
Yeah. And that was just Riddick standing on his head.
Yeah.
Lewis, I get what you're saying, but like there's been like even when the Leafs played Montreal, there's one specific play that I remember and recall was when Marner got his first career goal against the Habs. And it was the little stick lift that he had that Matthews had on Shea Weber behind the net. Like Shea Weber had body positioning. I don't know what Matthews did. He pulled some type of like wizardry or some shit. He stick lifted so quick and just grabbed the puck, passed it off to Marner, boom, goal. I was like, Jesus Christ, this kid, it's just crazy. Like you can see him, and I hate, and a lot of people call me a closet Leafs fan because like I appreciate listen, I just appreciate good hockey and good players, and like it's crazy to see the kid like just stepping up in a level, and it's I love seeing the development of players. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how good he's getting.
Yeah, same. I agree with everything you're saying there. Like I said earlier, like they've always been good, but now they're getting to be great. And it's fun. Like as a Leaf fan, like we've had some lean years, boys.
But they didn't score for 5 periods.
Right.
Yeah. Fuck.
And then they finally scored.
Yeah. So it's nice that to have this. Am I naive to say, hey, we're the best in the NHL, we're going to go win the cup? I agree with Lewis in saying, we're the best in the division. Looking at the division leaders right now, it's like if it went to the Final Four, it could potentially be Toronto, Boston, Tampa, and Vegas. We could end up going into the next round and get swept. It's tight. It's a tight race. There's some good teams in the NHL, and that's the hard part. Like for me, it's like you look at teams like St. Louis, Colorado, and Vegas playing each other. Like those are legit teams. Any one of them can come out of their division and be strong. where we don't necessarily have the toughest competition. So that is the one thing. But it's like, hey, it gives us a chance to at least make it to the third round. So
it's fun to watch the regular season.
Yeah, and also, like I said, I think it gives us a disadvantage to a point where, like, sometimes you need to play those bigger teams. Sometimes you need to play those better teams.
Right.
And we're not having that now. Like the Habs, too. I'm telling you, the Habs have always played down to competition. The Ottawa Senators, they just – I don't know what it is. We can't beat them.
It's this year's Detroit Red Wings.
Oh yeah, wasn't that last year? Didn't you get swept by the Red Wings last year?
Yeah. It's like it's embarrassing.
I still have dreams about
the
that.
worst Red Wings team in a long time.
That could be one of the worst teams in fucking hockey history.
Ever.
When
like,
fucking Zadina scored,
that could be a system thing and a coach thing. We'll see. New coach, young guy. Let's see what this team has.
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Vinny.
No, I was just thinking, like, the newer coaches coming in, like Keefe and Ducharme now, right? I think that's the new blood, the new coach in the NHL right now. That's what you're seeing. They come in with they're good communicators. Apparently, he's a good communicator. That's what I heard, and I think players of this generation, that's what they need. It's enough playing, the old school style like Babcock and Julian. As much as I have respect for those two gentlemen, I think with a younger minded coach in there, they'll be able to relate to the players a little bit better. And that's why the Leafs are doing well under Keefe, and I think the Habs are going to be okay under Ducharme. I really do.
Well, and before we get into some more talk around the NHL, we'll end on a few more little Leaf tidbits as Pat and I generally get into a lot of Leaf talk before we get into some other hockey talk. But the lightning rod here in Toronto is one William Nylander. Like going into last night's game, he was tire fire, and he comes.
The whole fucking line was a tire fire. Don't just blame Willie.
You mean for like the last
for the last 2 weeks? Tavares has been shit. Willie's been shit. Whoever they put on the wing with them has been shit.
Well, nothing has
fucking
changed
nightmare
for Tavares, but let's talk about Nylander.
No, I don't know what his problem is.
Well, it's just like he what was it? Brian Burke always talking about how much he hates William Nylander.
He's a fucking douchebag anyway.
Right, but at the same time, he's not wrong in the sense of Willie will have some flash and dash. He's got a great shot. He's got great hands. Great. He's a great skater. He's tons of talent. I'm not saying that he's not talented. But when he's not scoring or setting up plays, he's not doing too much else, right?
Yeah, but no, obviously he's not a 200-foot player. He's not a Matthews. He's not Marner.
He's not.
No, but like if you watch it, you watched. I watch Nylander more now just because everybody fucking chirps me for fucking Nylander. So I have to watch and I'm like, okay, and I pick out. I watch the plays he makes. Like he steals the puck a lot. Even if there's nothing, like he sets up. There's 2 or 3 plays every game where he's setting someone up. And if they don't bury it, they don't fucking bury it. So then that just gets, swept under the rug. Nylander didn't do anything all night. Meanwhile, some fucking asshole didn't bury a fucking glorious scoring opportunity. And it's Nylander's fault. Last night, like I'll say, and I defend him anyway. I don't care, whatever. But on the what's his face? Mangiapane goal. Yeah, Nylander was a little bit high and he probably should have been able to at least lift the fucking stick and save that goal. But I mean, like Dermott and Hall were out on the ice standing there like fucking pylons behind the net. Puck comes out to Mangiapane, he fucking scores. Nylander, half-assed attempt to lift the stick. But it was almost like that play, and then he just, you know what, man, I fucked up. And then he took over the game for the last, it was 3.5 minutes, and plus the overtime was 30 seconds, whatever. It was a Nylander show for his next 4 shifts, and it was fucking game over.
Here's a question. Here's a question for you, Pat. Do you like Nylander more, or do you hate Hall more? Which one?
I hate Hall more.
You got.
I would say.
I hate his stupid.
You guys
fucking
really
face.
hate Hall, eh?
Oh, he's terrible. Watch him. Watch him play. He'll make. He can skate, whatever. You make a nice pass here, there, whatever. But what he was on, I think he's been on the ice for the last 4 goals against. Last 2 games, he was on the ice for every goal, and he's standing there doing nothing.
I don't know. When he scored that goal on the Habs, I thought he was the best player
That
in
was
the world.
fucking.
I know.
You know what? I said that to Steve too. I said he put his head down and he fucking hit it as
Hope
hard
for
as he
the
fucking
best.
could. That was the hardest shot he'll ever take, and he just buried it fucking bar down. Nobody was saving that. Like, whatever. I'm surprised he didn't break the fucking glass behind the net. Like, I can't even believe he hit the net
And
or hit Price in the fucking.
What do you got?
chest.
Come on.
speaking of shitty Leafs too, James Duffy was on TSN the other day talking about how Ilya Makayam is the new Grabner.
Yeah, and it's because we said that like fucking a week ago.
Yeah, I was like, we've been saying that for weeks that he's the new Grabner. So clearly,
Hey, don't dance over Nylander.
we're not dancing over him. I think he's a shitbag.
Fuck you.
Gibby,
You're just mad you
come on,
traded him
man.
in the pool.
What do you got to say about Nylander? Let's see.
Yeah, come on, Gib.
I could see your eyes flickering.
You got something, Gibby?
So for me, Nylander is so obviously being a Habs podcast. We try and Habs fans, we try and do a little bit of comparisons. I'm not comparing the two players here. I'm comparing the fact that no matter what happens on the ice, they're going to get flack. So it's the same thing. Nylander gets flack no matter what. It's the same thing with Drouin. Drouin's having a good fucking season, and for some fucking reason, fans are still giving him flack.
There's always one guy.
It's always the one guy, and I feel like Nylander to the Leafs is what Drouin is to the Habs, and I don't understand it. I personally like Nylander. A lot of people were hating on Nylander when he was sitting out in that contract year, and then when he ended up coming back, they were like, "Oh, look, he's not even fucking worth the money." And I'm like, in my head, I'm like,
awful.
I'm like, dude, what do you expect? But what do you really expect? Everybody's in mid-season form. He's coming fucking late to the season. Like you can't expect the guy to just start ripping it up right away, right? I personally like Nylander. I think he's just perhaps maybe not with the right line mates. I don't know. I like Tavares.
He needs to play with Matthews. I said that for fucking 3 years.
Did he not play yesterday with Matthews?
Last night in the overtime, they put him out with Matthews, and he fucking scores.
See, but that's the problem, like with the Leafs, and this has always been the problem. They have too many like top end players.
How do you have too many top end players?
No, because I'm telling you, in the past, and even to this day, they still have too many like high skilled players. You cannot give them enough ice time to perform, where you need guys to do other jobs. Like a team needs to be balanced. The Leafs have not been balanced over the years.
I don't know.
That's my opinion.
I think Willie's getting enough ice time.
He's around 15, 16 minutes. I don't think that's enough.
Right.
No,
but same as Tavares,
also play with the right players, insulate them, right?
Yeah.
And also, I think the problem with Nylander is the whole contract situation. You know what I mean? There was all
that didn't happen, nobody would hate him.
The contract situation, he got paid way too much, and he hasn't lived up to the contract.
He scored 30 goals last year.
Pats, this pisses me off.
Still, in your fan base's mind, they think that he hasn't lived up to it.
Well, no,
I mean.
I
Regardless, he's going to get flagged
because the fan base that hated him for sitting out are fucking stupid.
Exactly. So they keep that in their mind. And I say the same thing about Drouin, where we traded our best prospect for Drouin, brought him in, made him a freaking number one center. He failed.
Yeah.
And we thought that he was going to be the savior. He's not. He's just going to be a guy who's probably going to get a lot of assists, score once in a while.
That trade baffled me. It didn't make any sense at all. I'm like, why are you doing that?
It
didn't make any sense.
It baffles. Still, I still kind of look back at it, but I honestly think Sergachev hasn't panned out like everybody expected him to either. I think he was
put on a good team with
he's on a good team. No, he's on a very good team.
I don't think he's been what a lot of people expected him to be.
You know, Gib, when I look at Drouin, right, this year, we talked about it on the last podcast, the guy is putting up a point a game, and people are complaining. Like, almost a point a game. Yeah, he's passing the puck. He's feeding the puck to Anderson. That's basically what he's doing. He's involved. You know, he's no longer the centerpiece now. He's more like in the background. I think he's comfortable there, right?
Yeah, and that's Nylander too. It's like
that's what I'm saying.
So many stars on your team. You expect this guy to be a superstar too? No, he's going to play his part. He's going to score big goals like he did last night once in a while.
For me, Lewis,
can't expect him to do it every night.
No, you know what? I don't expect him to do it every night, but to go 8, 9, 10 games in a row with having 0 goals, 0 assists, like 6 shots in 10 games, it's like he needs to do a little bit more. You know, for me, he's just got to. I'm not saying like I call him a shitbag. I joke like I'm.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's super talented, but for what we're paying him and for the elite talent that he does have, I expect him to do a little bit more. I'm not saying that he's got to be Matthews or Marner, but I'm saying like you can't have donuts across the board and have 5 or 6 shots over the last 9 games. Like it's not enough. So I expect him to get into the dirty areas a little bit more. I agree. I think that he should be playing with Matthews and Marner should be back with Tavares. You know, there's a couple things that I would do different. A lot of people would do different. And who knows, maybe that doesn't even work out. But I would at least go back and try that. But it's hard because Matthews and Marner look so good together, right?
That's the thing, right? Don't fix what's not broke.
Right. Well, you could say that, and, you know, the year that Tavares put up 40 was with Marner, and Matthews played great. So, but they changed that, right? So
Tavares is washed up.
You know what? I'm a huge Kadri fan, and I think that when they brought in Tavares, the $11 million, think of this. I bet you Pietrangelo would have ended up coming to Toronto if we had the cap, and we could still have Kadri and Petro instead.
That you guys would have been better.
Fuck Kadri.
I like Kadri a lot.
I like Kadri.
I think he's a really good, capable center.
I think he cost us 2 playoff series.
He had a couple of brain farts. He had a couple of brain farts.
We got fucking suspended. Like, what the fuck? How do you do that stupid shit?
League is soft.
I don't think he was going into the play thinking I'm gonna get fucking suspended.
He fucking what did he? Who was it that he fucking hit face first into the boards? And then what was the other one?
I think it was the Brust. No?
Yeah, Brust. It was Brust.
Yeah,
fucking brutal.
Anywho.
Anyway, Tavares, for being a shitbag, has 17 points in 21 games.
Nice. That's a good shitbag.
Drouin has 12 points in 18 games.
Yeah, I'll take JT, but at the same time, JT making 11 sheets. So too.
That's the quietest 17 points I've ever fucking seen in my life.
He's having
everyone's like, this guy fucking sucks.
Yeah, he's having a very quiet production.
Like, you know why? It was because it was all at the beginning, and then
it's also being. I feel like it's being masked because of how Matthews is. Like the guy's fucking on pace to score 50 goals in 50 fucking games.
That's crazy.
Like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Do you guys think he'll do that? Like I was saying no. Like, yep.
I don't think he will either. He's just whatever. It won't happen.
I'll say yes.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I think he'll get 40. 100% get 40. 50.
Yeah, he's got what? He's got 18 and 20 games right now.
Yeah,
even 40 is ridiculous. Like in this season.
That's still like 40 goals in a fucking 82 game season is a really successful season.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of players that produce, Sidney Crosby played his 1,000th career NHL game. There's been a lot of talk of Sid being top 10, top 5, top 3 even, I've heard. Where do you guys think that he fits?
Washed up.
All time?
All time, yeah.
Like if we're gonna say
you're going
like,
all time though, like fuck.
Yeah, that's tough. All time.
You can't go all time. You got to go like, I don't know.
Why can't you go all time?
Okay, fine, all time.
Like,
go ahead.
I would say he's definitely in the top 10 all time.
Top 10 all time, yeah. For the people saying top 3 all time, I really want to know.
So.
I really want to know their top 3. Like, I'm very interested because like we've seen so many fucking great players, like Gretzky, Lemieux. There's so many guys you can name.
Guy Lafleur.
Like that's what I mean, and it's tough to say. Guy Lafleur.
A lot of people are saying Gretzky, Lemieux, or Howe Crosby is what people have been saying. That's just going across TSN and Sportsnet. There's been a lot of talk on this with him playing in his 1,000th. Yeah, and
or deserves to be up there.
Pardon me?
Yeah.
Or he deserves it. Or deserves to be part of that conversation.
Oh sure. Yeah.
And
100%.
Crosby he's had a really good career, and that was even what did he miss? Like he had a rough 3 or 4 seasons with the concussions, right?
Yeah.
So imagine
too, right?
Yeah, imagine if he didn't fucking get that, where he'd be, right? I think he would definitely be in the top 3 talks, maybe. But yeah, no, I would probably say top 5, top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I saw on Twitter. I guess John Scott now has a podcast or something.
Jesus.
And yeah, but he made a good point. He's like, Sidney Crosby. He's like, yeah, everyone's talking about him being, one of the greats and this and that. And he goes, and I looked at his point totals after his 1,000 games, and he was actually shocked of how low it is for someone in that conversation, because he's sitting at 1,278 points. In 1,001 games. Well, now that's really good, obviously.
Fantastic.
But think about it. Like, he had 1 year where he scored 120 points.
Well, they talked a lot about the era and the point per game in that era, because in the 80s, the points per game were ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like Gretzky just, getting that.
That's what I was going to say, too, is we have to look like, okay, I understand back then those guys lit it up, but look at the quality of competition they faced.
Well, the goalies were shit.
Yeah, they were shit.
Yeah, the fucking pads were half the size.
I think that Sid kind of gets like the short end of the stick in some ways, just because he's done so well. He's such a great player, but now he's on a declining team and he cannot perform like he used to. So he's done so well leading up to this point, but competition is just so much better. But still, that has to play a factor. I would say top 5 just to grandfather him in. But yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be players that are going to surpass him.
I just had a thought. This is like instant erection. Could you imagine? Matthews, Connor McDavid, and Crosby playing in the 80s?
Yeah,
they would destroy them.
That would be gross.
Could you imagine how filthy that would be?
It'd be like the Monstars.
Yeah.
It'd be like Space Jam.
Except they need like a Dave Semenko fucking riding shotgun over there.
Like, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, and actually, one of my favorite things about the whole Crosby thing this past week was when everybody was out doing his pregame warm up, and everyone was doing up their skates at the same time and crouched exactly like he was, and just seeing his reaction to it. It's those little moments in hockey that I truly love.
Yeah, and I think that he deserves more respect than what he gets.
Yeah.
But the problem is hey, it's a fact. He's declining.
Well, of course he is. He's getting
even
old.
at the end of like the careers of Mario and Gretzky, they were still able to like do well. It's not the same game no more.
Crosby's not doing well. I would have to disagree wholeheartedly.
No, I'm not saying that he's not doing well. He is, but he's not considered like the best.
Well, it's different right now when you got guys like McDavid and Matthews in the league. But at the same time, he's right there. To me, he's still a top number 1 center. Like,
yeah, for sure. But
I
back
think
then, it was like there was one and there was none. Kind of, right? Well, it's like those guys killed the records, and there was like nobody even close.
Is there 5 centers in the NHL that you would want over Crosby
right now?
Matthews, McDavid,
probably.
Draisaitl plays center.
Maybe not Shifley. 5, but it would be at least
Crosby over Shifley.
Why? Shifley's like 20. What's Shifley, like 26?
Well, it depends on the situation. You got to look at
we're talking about his
win now or longevity.
No, well, if we're just talking about talent this season, who's a better?
Probably Shifley. Without looking at his stats, I'd probably say Shifley's better.
No, he's not.
I would say
without looking at stats. I'm not looking at
this year. I would take Crosby.
Crosby has 15 points so far, 17 games. It's not bad.
What about Shifley? Check Shifley.
Shifley has
1 season this year. I'm taking Crosby over Shifley in a heartbeat.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you.
Shifley in 18 games has 26 points. Shifley's having a great year.
Hey, there you go.
I still think
Shifley's having that's another guy that's having like an under the radar fucking season.
Yeah, like you don't fucking hear anything about it.
You don't hear anything about it right now. It's just McDavid and fucking Matthews.
Yeah,
that's literally what.
But it's like it's McDavid and then everybody else.
Yeah.
Kind of after that, like there's
It's like
he's
those
fucking
two are-
he's like a human cheat code. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's the cheat code. Yeah, it's true.
It's like you got that extra speed boost, like you fucking paid extra in the fucking PlayStation store, and you hit the button, he's like, and he's fucking gone. It's crazy.
Question for all you guys, because I've had this conversation with a few of my buddies. Would you guys say McDavid and Matthews are it's the passing of the torch from Crosby and Ovechkin?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Matthews easily is the best pure goal scorer in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
His shot is fucking.
I think that Matthews is like the next Ovechkin, and McDavid is the next Crosby. Like that's the two.
I just
think McDavid will be better than Crosby.
I just see it as
Once it's all said and done.
But I'm just saying, like, he's more of a different type of player, more of a assist kind of guy, where like Matthews is just a pure scorer, like Ovechkin.
Right.
I think he's going to be better than him, to be honest.
Matthews,
just
better
like
than Ovechkin?
you look at him as a complete player.
Yeah.
I agree that these guys are now, because the face of the NHL was for years Crosby, Ovechkin, and now the new faces are McDavid and Matthews. 100%. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And just speaking of,
and we were this close to fucking McDavid. This fucking close. We were in Niagara Falls watching that shit, and it was like, fuck, Evans had got him. All right, let's go get drunk.
I just moved here from Montreal. I was about to move back. If that was gonna happen.
Yeah, we were in Niagara Falls that night. We watched it at the hotel. We went out to the bar and we ran into Dougie Gilmore.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's when I hugged Dougie.
Dougie was
Dougie a big hug.
Dougie was tuned up.
I lied to him and said he was my favorite Leaf ever.
Yeah.
What else?
Sorry, Dougie.
Fanboy moment.
Well,
I mean, you kind of have to.
The NHL.
What do you say?
Push on the NHL here a little bit. There's big news in New York with the whole Artemi Panarin political.
Oh yeah, fuck.
That came up, and Nico Hischier, the new captain in New Jersey, and even Coach Babcock over to Saskatchewan to do some volunteer work for the Huskies. I wanted to get anybody's 2 cents on any of these topics.
Did you say volunteer work over there?
Yeah, he's a
I
volunteer.
thought he was a coach.
He's
a coach?
not being paid.
Oh, actually, I thought that was a little joke. I thought that was a joke.
No, I caught the sarcasm.
He's trying to fix his image.
He picks up the pucks and brings the pucks.
Yeah,
sure. But no, well, because he Husky, right? He used to coach there, and he's giving back. But yeah, it could be about his image. Like, I don't know. Did you guys see his interview on NBC when they discussed the Marner fallout?
No.
Yeah, I saw a little bit.
Yeah.
If I could, I'll touch on the Panarin.
Sure, hit it.
So basically, from what I heard, like, it's a messed up situation.
Yeah.
Because Panarin had made like a post that went against Putin.
Yeah, he was supporting the other.
So he was supporting the opposition.
Yes.
And now, in like, I guess an election coming up, Putin is trying to go against him. You know what I mean? Because Panarin, believe it or not, has got some influence as a famous guy. So he is actually, I don't know if it's fake or not, but Panarin is scared. Obviously,
I would be terrified.
Just by the rules. He's scared because Putin is obviously doing this.
It's a corrupt country, and people go away.
Right? So, like, it's not like, I don't even think that like the allegations are true. I just think that he's scared because whether they're true or not, this guy and his team put this out there to make him shut up and not go against him in the election. Like, that's a scary
Dude,
thing.
I don't know. I wouldn't eat or drink if I was him for like 3 days.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
I don't know. Open up my own pop bottles.
Yeah, man. That's not even like that's completely outside of hockey.
But that's why I don't get
some
involved,
scary
man. Especially when you got a leader like that.
I mean, but at the end of the day, if you wanna stand up for what you feel is right, obviously you do it. But fuck,
just not when you're Russian.
Yeah. Just make sure you're not Russian.
He probably has family or people back there, right? Because if he had like everything in America, he wouldn't care. He'd be like, whatever, I don't care. But he probably has like family back there, people he has to protect. You know what I mean? So he's got to take a quick flight, cover everything up, get back home.
Yeah.
And it's scary that like this to me is like something out of a movie. And
Yeah.
you know, I genuinely feel bad for him. He should be able to say what he thinks. And the fact that, you know, but Mother Russia doesn't want to hear it.
Mother Russia.
Not those guys.
Russia.
Communists.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
One other thing that I want to touch on before we let you guys get out of here and you don't have to keep looking at us is the LA Kings. The LA Kings are the fucking heater right now. All right, they that division is a division. The West is a division where I've said for a while now that there's a team in the West is going to make the playoffs and they shouldn't. It's just by the fact that 4 teams have to make the playoffs because the bottom teams aren't that great. And the LA Kings are making a push to do so. I'm not sure if you guys have been following the West or the Kings at all, but I just wanted to check in to see if anybody had any input on that. And what I've been digging up is like the vets, Dustin Brown, Carter, Doughty, Kopitar. These guys are playing really good hockey. And they've been supported with some of the young guys like Jared Anderson-Dolan. I've been waiting for this guy to come up. Seals in our pool has him. I've been trying to get Anderson-Dolan off him for years.
I fucking traded him to him, I think.
Well, Vinny is a Ducks fan.
And
Don't start.
Gabe Velarde's stepping up in LA. And they have a ton of young guys coming up in the field. They got Turcotte, Kaliev, Kapari, Clegg, Thomas. There's a lot of good things happening in LA. I just wanted to get anybody's input on what might be happening in La La Land.
Man, I'm so bad. I haven't paid attention to the West at all. I'm a bad hockey fan. I got to start doing that. I got to start watching some other games.
Vinny,
Dustin Brown has
a
fucking
Ducks
10
fan.
goals
He chose
already.
the Ducks to be that team.
Yeah,
What's
the Ducks. Yeah. I took the Ducks to win
the Anaheim Ducks to be good this year.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, no.
Why?
Why?
I was trying to be funny, and these guys just make me have it every week.
You know what I do like about the Ducks? Trevor Zegras, Jamie Drysdale.
Yeah.
So those two guys, these guys are elite. And the fact that the Ottawa Senators passed over on Jamie Drysdale, I think that's going to be a big mistake. I think he fell into the last. And Zegras, he went 9. Like he's another one that's going to fall. Like these guys shouldn't have went 9 and 6. So I think the Anaheim Ducks have been doing good with their prospects coming up. And you got guys like starting to play.
You want to talk about the Kings? You got something?
He was like, I don't care about the Kings.
No, I think what you're seeing is like you mentioned all those young kids. But the thing is also, I feel like Jonathan Quick is actually having an okay season. Like previous couple, I feel like he's bouncing back. I think everything's coming into fruition. Kopitar's having a good season. And I feel like that team had a couple bad years, did some decent drafting, have some quality players coming up. And I think now we're starting to see it. And I think having Quick with his bounce back, we're seeing them performing a little bit better than what I didn't expect them to do as well as they're doing now, but I thought they had a good team, but I didn't expect Quick to do so well. So I think that's why they're kind of playing above themselves. I think it's a lot of goaltending too, because even help me out here, I'm brain farting. Oh my God, Peterson. There you go, Cal Peterson.
Normie P. Peterson.
Yeah, yeah, he's having a good, like that 1-2 tandem. They're having a good year.
Peterson's save percentage is .931.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
And I think LA is one of those teams that you're going to see struggle a little bit, but the system, like that's a good organization. Like, you know what I mean? They're going to build. And I think that we're going to start to see them slowly rise. I think that having these small divisions are going to help them because they don't care about this year. They really don't.
No, they don't. And what they should do, honestly, is now that he's 31 years old, is trade fucking Drew Doughty for a shitload of prospects.
Pretty much showcase
whatever
and
you
just
want.
do what we can do, and let's look to the future. And I think that the
Yes.
Kings are one of those organizations that are really smart. But Minnesota Wild, they're never going to be good.
No, nobody likes Minnesota.
No.
They should just fucking fold.
It's not soda, it's pap.
I called it
What, Steve, your microphone's going all fucked up. What'd you say?
I said that I called Minnesota to be the fourth team to make the playoffs in that division.
Bro, Minnesota is like that team. It's never going to be good, like the Buffalo Sabres. It's like they try. Remember when they got what's his name? Freaking the two guys, the Americans.
Who?
It was one guy
On Minnesota?
Yeah, on Minnesota, they signed the two big free agents,
Suter
Suter and
Parise.
Easy.
there you go.
Yeah.
Remember, we're like, oh,
For like matching $40 gazillion contract.
Yeah.
we're like, oh,
Yeah.
and they sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the Sabres, as you brought that up there's a
Oh,
lot of rumors milling about in Buffalo. There's talk of Jack Eichel wanting out.
He should fucking want out, man. Why the fuck would he want to stay there? They fucking
Tire
stink.
fire.
They're
There's
brutal.
That team can never be good.
Taylor Hall
It's
has one
incredible.
goal.
Skinner.
But you guys think he screwed up? He screwed up with his contract last year?
Who? Hall? By
Yeah,
taking that
because-
1 year, $8
Yeah,
million.
1 year.
whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
not getting.
No,
Fucking,
he's
he's not
he's not getting anywhere
near
near
that.
that.
No.
What's that?
You know what? I don't think it'll make a difference.
No.
He's still fucking Taylor Hall. If you put him on,
Yeah,
a team
he's
that doesn't
still-
suck ass.
If Buffalo's smart, they'll try to trade him at the deadline.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have to.
You know,
Yeah.
Fuck, man. What a. I don't
But
care. I
like
hate
these
Buffalo,
guys
but
too
still.
chose Buffalo to be a decent team this year. I said,
Who said that? Wait, no, not these
Not
guys.
you guys.
What, you guys?
no,
Yeah,
our
Are
guys,
your buddies
yeah,
there?
these two.
Okay. I was gonna say,
And I
'cause
said,
didn't.
bro, Buffalo is gonna be Buffalo. It's like
Yeah.
the Cleveland Browns in the NFL.
They can't win.
They just can't.
They just can't.
Remember when Darlene was supposed to be the next best defenseman?
They just can't. It's
Give him a couple years.
over.
Darlene's gonna be.
I
good.
Yeah, he's
I
still
hope so.
young.
I hope so, man.
You can't. There's a when do you ever get, except for maybe, I can't even think of a defenseman that came in and like dominated as like a rookie.
It's kind
Romano.
of like the Maple Leafs though too.
Makar? Right
Yeah,
now.
okay,
Makar.
yeah. McCarr.
Matthews is gonna go to Arizona and then
maybe.
Doughty. I think Doughty
Was
slotted
Doughty
in.
really good when he came in too?
I think
Doughty
That was a
so.
long time ago.
I
Yeah,
remember
that was
But
There
it's a little more rare for a defenseman
Yeah, it's
to come
more
in and
rare
make
for
that
sure.
impact, right?
mhm.
Give Darlene a couple more years and he's going to be a stud, but just not
Yeah.
in Buffalo because he's going to say "fuck you guys" and he's going to leave.
It's fucking tire fire.
Nobody wants to stay in Buffalo.
I remember the conversations when Doughty was a rookie, and conversations about people asking the coaches, either the coaches or the GM, if they were going to release him to go and play for Team Canada, the junior team. They're like, I hope you're talking about like the Olympic team because he's not a junior player. Best player, and he was a
Yeah.
rookie.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how good he was. But that just about does it for our NHL headlines this week, guys. So I wanted to thank you guys for coming on the pod. It's nice, like we've met Gibby in the past. It's nice to meet Lewis and Vinny.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, I want to let everybody out there know. You guys can check out the Hab A Listen podcast on deanblundell.com. You can download their podcast on any podcatcher. Great guys, great insight to the game.
Unfortunate about their team favorite.
Hey, but look, boys, before I
What
go,
are you going to do?
I'm
Lou,
happy you ended it, but something's really hurting my ass. Oh,
Wow, you have a Maple Leaf blanket. Look at that.
I've been sitting
Wow,
on
you're
it
not
all
a
night,
closet
and
Leaf fan.
thank God you ended it.
He's been ripping farts all night.
Yeah. I know. I look at a Hab thing and it makes you feel like I gotta go take a shit. So
Yeah.
No, but cheers, boys, man. It's been an honor, man. I love talking, and I thought it was good. We
Yeah,
had a
man.
good chat.
Cool.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
sure, boys. I appreciate this.
Okay.
No problem.
Absolutely.
You can come on yours sometime.
Yeah, for sure. We'll
Would love that.
definitely talk to Diener and set this all up again.
All right. Sounds
Sounds
good.
good.
Hey, guys.
All right, boys. Cheers.
Good luck against
Cheers.
Ottawa.
Go Habs, go, eh?
Fuck them.
All right, Pats. We're gonna get into what's been pissing you off here lately, buddy. So let's see here. What's been pissing off Pat?
I don't know. Whenever Vinny clicks off.
I'm trying to get off. Give me a second.
He's on with us for the drink.
All right, there you go. I'm gone.
That's it.
All right. Well, we got the first thing that's been pissing you off this week, buddy, is gas prices.
They're fucking brutal, man. Like, what is this shit? You fucking beginning of COVID, I could fill my truck for like $70. Now we're looking at, it's $1.20 fucking, a liter or whatever it is. It's fucking bullshit. Like, what is this? Should be, they're fucking profiting like crazy. Like, give me a fucking break, man. It's costing me $120 to fill my goddamn tank.
Do you contact some of the oil companies?
Yeah. And be like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm going to give you a couple triple bogey fucking hard seltzers right here.
You suck back those triple bogey hard seltzers, eh?
What's that?
You've been sucking those puppies back, eh?
Yeah. I gotta go take a piss, but we're live. I need to get like a fucking little bedpan or something right here.
You know what I was thinking that we should be doing is we should do a triple bogey chugging contest where we have to chug an amber, a light, and an original.
Sure, do it. Let's set it up.
We'll do it right now.
We'll do it. Well, I don't know. I drank all mine. They're gone. My fridge is empty.
They are good. It is a good beer.
Yeah. I got that other 2-4 sitting there. So
number 2 pissing you off this week is Ilia Makayam's lack of finish.
Oh, I know. Like, what? I don't understand. This guy, like, it's almost like he's a step ahead of everybody else, and he cannot bury the puck. He's stuck on one friggin' goal. Like, what is this? I don't understand. I mean, last year, whatever, he got hurt and, promising rookie season down the tubes, but still, like, you got to bury something, man. At least he's going to the net and he's driving the play a little bit, but you got to fucking finish, man.
He's one of those guys where when he gets a breakaway, you can just walk away and not.
Yeah, it's like Michael Grabner. You're just like, fuck it. He's not going to score until something happens. He's going to sign somewhere else next year or whatever his contract, 1 year, 2 year, whatever he got from us. Then he's going to go somewhere else and be Grabner and score fucking 20 shorthanded goals a season.
And number 3 on your list is the Leafs injury bug.
Yeah. See, you got Anderson, you got Thornton, you got Simmons. Now you got Muzzin with a broken bone in his face. Fuck, man, we're getting banged up all over the place. But at least like I was enjoying watching Simmons. I thought Simmons was kind of like a difference maker. 5 goals in 12 games, dropping the mitts. But like. These old guys are starting to get hurt a little bit. I mean, Muzzin, whatever, he got hit in the face with a stick or whatever it was. But yeah, man, there's just too many injuries. Too many injuries, boys.
Right. Well, we're holding the fort down. We're still in first. We had we beat the Habs last week. We went 1-1 with the Flames. We're still sitting at the top of the standing. So I'm feeling good. Let's move into our little fantasy section.
Ooh, fantasy.
With a little.
I've been blowing up my fantasy team.
Pick 'em up.
Pick 'em up.
What's been happening with your fantasy squad?
I just traded the Chronicles of Dr. Riddick away.
What about?
I traded him.
Did you trade
I traded him to Lenny the Cunt.
Did you trade Barrett Hayden too?
I traded Hayden. I traded David Riddick.
Yeah.
And Ricard Raquel because he fucking sucks.
He does suck.
I got my first round pick next year, which is a top 3.
Right.
I got another first round pick the following season.
Right.
I got Travis Sanheim.
Right.
And I got Liam Foodie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Sanheim. I like the picks.
Yeah.
Hayden's a good player, though.
I don't know, man. He fucking didn't do anything.
He
hasn't done anything yet. He's back in the AHL. He's not ready. Fuck him.
Well, he's not ready, but
I think he's a bust.
You're rebuilding.
He's a bust.
I don't think
he's a bust.
Okay, you heard it here, folks.
Hayden's a bust.
Hayden's a bust. I don't think so, but anyways.
I think he is. You know why he's a bust?
Why?
Because Thrasher doesn't trade anyone that he thinks is going to be good.
Right. I think Thrasher doesn't trade anybody if they're good. He doesn't. I don't think he knows how to think about it.
Wow.
Good or not. You know,
Take that one, Thrasher.
If he did, he would have traded Hosang a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't know why that guy still. He's got fucking Anthony fucking D'Angelo on his roster.
Yeah.
Like, come on, get out of here. Fucking drop him. He's not gonna play in the NHL again. The guy's a fucking nutcase.
Is he sitting on his farm or is he sitting on his
Yeah, he's on his farm. I said he's got to bring him up because he's not allowed down there.
Well, but
nope. Pack taxi squad.
Wow.
Pulling the taxi squad fucking trump card. Anyway.
Well, let's get into the goalies here, and we got a right off the hop. We got a great one. We got Dr. David Rittich.
Pick him up.
Only owned in 24% of fantasy leagues. Rittich picked up a shutout win this week with a goals against average of 171 and a save percentage of 944.
Wow! And I traded his ass.
Pick him up. I'm up right now. We got Capo Kakinen, the CAC.
Fuck, I had him and traded him too.
I think I drafted him.
I think you traded him to Slats, and then I got him from Slats in the
something like
deal last year. A Justin Hall deal.
Right.
I traded Justin Hall.
The Wild Tendy is owned in 44% of leagues. He picked up 3 wins in his 3 starts this week. He had a goals against average of 167 and a save percentage of 946.
Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus.
Jesus.
You know what you should do?
Pick him up.
Pick him up! Pick him up right now.
Your fucking neighbors are going to start complaining. Some fucking guy keeps yelling, pick him up.
We got the third goalie this week is Alex Nedelkovic. Whatever
his name. That Carolina goalie.
Nettie picked up a shutout win in his 2 starts, held the goals against average of 1.02 and a save percentage of 961.
Jesus.
Only owned in 19% of leagues.
Wow.
Pick him up.
You think another Alex will make that list, as in Galchenyuk?
For goalies? No.
No, not for goalies, you fucker. And the skaters.
When is he going to play?
I don't know. I think they're giving him practice time.
Yeah.
But I think he should take VC out of the lineup because VC fucking sucks, man.
Not a big VC guy.
No, he's fucking terrible. He does nothing.
And hey, I don't just shit on all of the lower end players. Who I've been pumping Travis Boyd's tires.
Oh no, but he gives effort, right? Like he goes see the play. Oh, you probably missed it last night because you had some fucking shit going on over there, wherever you were.
I happened to be, talking with a young lady.
Right.
Yeah. So it kind of, the game.
You were having a quiet discussion. Got it. So you missed Travis Boyd going in and slamming into the fucking net.
Quiet discussion about rubbing genitals.
Oh. No. She said, I don't want to do that with you.
And I said, are you sure?
She said, yes, because mine are bigger than yours.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, let's move over to the defense here that you should be picking up this week. For his 2nd week in a row, Radco Goudas makes the list.
He's fucking hurt.
Is he hurt?
He's hurt now. You can't pick him up. Take him off the list.
He had a fucking week.
He had a week. Pick him up for next time.
Pick him up when he's not hurt. But I'll tell you what he did. So Radco is owned in 27% of fantasy leagues. He had 4 PIMs, 12 shots, 6 blocks, and 22 hits over his 19 minutes of ice. His ice time is growing. He got 22 hits in 4 games. He's just a complete beast.
But he's hurt. So leave him on the waiver wire. Pick him up next week.
Pick him up next week. We got Adam Larson.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. A fucking Edmonton defenseman getting picked up.
Yeah, pick him up. He got owned in 32% of leagues. Larson picked up an apple. He was a +1, had 16 hits, 11 blocks, and played over 23 minutes of ice.
Jesus.
Pick him up! Pick him up right now! We got Ben Sherratt, your boy.
Oh, fuck Ben Sherratt.
Gibby's boy. He's owned in 41% of leagues. Big Ben picked up 9 penalty minutes, 8 shots, 10 hits, 6 blocks, and over 22 minutes of ice.
Fuck him. He's a Hab. Sucks.
Don't pick him.
Don't you dare pick him up. He's shit.
Pick him up.
No.
Pick him up right now.
Not endorsing that one.
Over to the forwards. This one was interesting because this player was the 6th best player in fantasy hockey, all fantasy hockey this past week, and he's only 4% owned. Ryan Hartman.
He's still in the league?
Still in the league. Great stats over the past 7 days. Hartman picked up a goal, 4 assists. He was a +5. He had 5 shots and over 15 minutes of ice.
No, not in the league. I don't believe it.
Pick him up! Pick him up right now! You got Victor Rask available in our league.
Yeah, I know. I almost picked him up.
Now
I'm going to go pick him up right after this.
Only owned in 2% of leagues. Rask picked up 2 goals, 3 assists, was a +4, had 5 shots, 60% in the dot, and his 14 minutes of ice.
Pick him up.
Pick him up! Pick him up right now!
Wow.
We got Max Jones. Jones is owned in 8% of leagues. He picked up 2 goals, 9 penalty minutes, 9 shots, 7 hits, and his 15 minutes of ice.
Solid.
Pick him up! And with a little fantasy talk on some of the top dogs this week in fantasy sports. For the goalies, your boy, my boy, Dr. David Rittich.
Dr. David Riddick.
Anton Khudobin.
Oh, the Kudobin.
And Andrei Vasilevsky.
2 guys that I used to have and I traded.
I had Khudobin on my squad at one point because
He gave it to me for I think it was a first-round pick.
Right. Worked out for me.
And he's guy's a stud right now.
Well, and at the time, Khudobin was a backup goalie.
But he was backing up Bishop, who's always hurt.
Yeah.
So he got like 40-something starts.
Yeah. I wonder what that first pick turned into. I should go back and take a peek.
Yeah, take a look because it was probably nothing.
The defenseman, we were talking about him earlier, having a good season. Drew Doughty was the top defenseman this week. And then coming in at number 2 and number 3 was Keith Yandel and Rasmus Anderson of your Calgary Flames. The forwards, our boy, number 34, Austin Matthews. Again. Alexander Barkov and Matthew Tkachuk coming in at number 3. Connie McD, he was sniffing in at number 4. So he's
sniffing Matthews' ass.
Sniffing Matthews' ass.
From the back.
Yes. Well, that just about does it for this week, buddy. We're going to be right back here on Thursday, March 4th at 8 p.m. Please give us a follow on Twitter at Hockey Dummies. Check us out on deanblundell.com, and don't forget to subscribe to the pod.
Habs are shit.
Habs are
That's
shit.
for you, Gibby and the boys.
Later, guys.